Make your ex miss you. This is what we're gonna cover today in this video. I'm gonna share with you some strategies, some techniques to create this dynamic. Perhaps your ex broke up with you recently and you feel that they lost interest in you. I'm gonna show you how you can make your ex miss you. If it's the first time you watch one of my videos, welcome. My name is Alexis. I'm a relationship counselor and my job is to help you get back with your ex. We'll discuss everything after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So why is that important that your ex misses you? A successful recovery is when you don't force things. So when I work with my clients, I ensure that things are going in an organic manner. As soon as you try to force things, as soon as you try to manipulate things, this is a high risk of your ex thinking that you have a hidden agenda, that you're not understanding them, that you're not sort of showing enough empathy to fix things and address things. Now, if you want to know if you can save your couple, I put together a quiz for you to know if you have any chance actually to save your couple. The link is in the description. It's totally free. It takes 2 minutes to complete and you'll have a clear idea whether it's worth saving your couple, whether you have a chance to save your couple or not. And so when your ex is also making steps towards you, that's what I do. In a way, my job, when you do the things the right way, you know when you're doing the right things because it's getting easier. Right now, you feel it's really hard. Right now, you feel like you're going against, running against the wind in a way. It's crucial for your ex to miss you. We want it to be organic. We want them to make that first move or those signs towards you. Because when they do, as soon as they do, it's just about how you can surf the wave and remove any friction from that process. So it's very important for you to create this. If you don't have a little bit of this, it's extremely hard to get back with an ex. I'll give you an example of when I created this slide, I was like, okay, let's try to find an example, an image that could resonate with you guys. I came back from holidays and this past holidays, I dropped my kids at my parents and they're super happy because they're with their grandparents and they do a lot of stuff. They're in the countryside and so on. And so for me, it's amazing, for my wife as well. We feel like, okay, we're gonna have time away from them, where we could sleep at night, where there's no scream, no crying at home. It's going to be amazing, right? And we leave our kids and we're happy that we leave our kids. But very quickly, because we love them, we have this lack, we have this void, and we start to miss them, okay? And we start to miss them because there's a sense of distance. We start to miss them because all the pain of being a parent of toddlers, I love them, but they're a pain in the ass. The noise, the fact that you can't really eat at a dinner table properly, that you can't really speak with your spouse, the fact that they wake you up 3 times at night are gone. And you just want to connect and have those moments with them because you have that distance. And so if you want ex to miss you, there's an implication of distance. There's also the idea of you create a sense that the life is different. When I'm not with my kids, life is different. There's a lot of benefits, but there's a lot of actually shortcomings, and I feel like it's different. Like sometimes when for example, like when I took the plane on my way back, I was kind of bored, what do you do if you don't have to look after kids for 2 hours? It's kind of a positive implication, but your ex has to understand that not being with you would have implications, right? And there's another element, they need to be curious. If you want your ex to miss you, they need to be curious. They need to want to know a little bit more. And when I was picking my phone to ask my parents how the kids were doing, I was so curious, what are they doing? Have they slept well? Are they behaving, listening to you, blah, blah, blah. I was super curious of what they're up to. Okay, so it's exactly the same dynamic. I don't know if this image you can relate to this. I know a lot of my clients, they have kids. You probably relate to this. Let me know in the comment section if that's a thing that you can relate to. But it's exactly the same dynamic with your ex. That's the point I'm making. So the need to be curious. 2 levers is to, and I forgot a bullet point, but it doesn't matter. Raise your interest. So you're curious about things that you're interested in. Your ex was interested in you. It's maybe she or he lost interest. It's how you can rebuild that interest. I'm not interested in cricket, in the sport cricket. I don't care. So, you can show me stuff about cricket. I don't care. But if I'm starting to get, if you create an attractive life, basically, with your hobbies, your lifestyle, the mindset, if you're positive, if you're radiant, then your ex, because they were interested in you, because they had feelings for you, because they still have feelings for you, probably, they will be driven to know a little bit more. And they will be driven to know a little bit more because you're going to nurture the mystery. And in that case, when I say mystery, is you don't need to showcase your life on social media or Instagram stories and whatnot. Actually, it's actually stronger where your ex doesn't know what you're up to. It's stronger because they really want to know. It's a little bit when you're, nightclubs where you don't have any clue of what's inside. And because you don't have any clues of what's inside, you're really, really craving getting it, inside. And you see people coming in that, club, usually like in New York or London, you have like, how's it called? I haven't been out for a while because of my kids. What's the name of those bars? Speakeasy bars, where it's like a normal sort of door and you have nothing. Maybe sometimes it's just a bar, but there's nothing, no clue. And it's so popular, there's been a lot of buzz around that. Maybe that's not anymore fashion. But, where, out of the blue, you had a bar downstairs, quirky place. It's exactly the same. You don't need to showcase. If what you have inside, if your life is exciting, you don't necessarily need to showcase. They'll be curious naturally. Now, the way the brain works for you, it's very important. This is really important. Listen to this. With time, we all tend to forget painful events. Don't necessarily forget them, but at least they reduce in intensity. If you have an accident, if you hurt yourself, the experience of this event is different on the day you break your arm versus 6 months after. And the idea of a breakup, which is really high in resentment, is that with time, that pain, those arguments, those fights, those resentments will reduce in intensity. And what will happen is that you would get more happy memories resurfacing. And it's mechanic. So that's why I put always. Regardless of if it's your ex is a man or woman, how long you were together, it is mechanic. Resentment will go down while we keep happy memories. Our brains filter out information this way. Okay, that's the way it is. You have to accept it. And so that's why I think it's very important for you to understand this element of distance. Because as you interrupt this process of digestion, it's a little bit like when you go to sleep, your brain filters in and out information that you got from the day. If I wake you up at night, 20 times at night, you won't be able to digest. And you'll probably be quite annoyed by me. It's exactly the same. If you're constantly in touch with your ex, they won't have the opportunity to digest and take some distance, right? So it's very important if you want your ex to miss you to use that distance. Also, very important, and sometimes it's crucial, people don't understand this or forget about this. The importance of last impression. Assess today, so maybe after this video you just pause, stop watching videos, assess today the image your ex had of you when you broke up. Breakups are very different. Sometimes we have a bad image, sometimes we react in a way we didn't like, or sometimes it's quite a peaceful event. If you're still in touch, find an opportunity to show your strength or maturity if you need to address things. Don't think that it's something that you have to do every day. You just do it once, you plant a seed, and you wait for it to grow. Okay, so be mindful that the results will come afterwards. If you are in no contact, check whether it's worth sending something to apologize. So I talked about taking some distance, being no contact, and now I'm telling you maybe you should send something to your ex. It might be confusing because there's an element, it's very important. The last impressions are quite important. So if you're not sure and if it doesn't make sense, give me a call. There's a link in the description where you can book a free call, and we'll discuss your situation in detail. We'll discuss whether you should break no contact, what you should send if you break no contact. I give you an honest and unbiased opinion whether you screwed up everything and actually you have no chance because of what you've done during this breakup, but at least you have that information. So don't hesitate, give me a call, book a call with me, and I'll be more than happy to discuss. And if you want to work with me, I'll also be able to guide you in terms of what sort of coaching can help you, if coaching can help you. And I know it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating because you will never hear, I put very rare, but because I've seen one case recently, but you'll never hear your ex telling you, I miss you. Never, ever, ever. Only one case for my client, my happy client. So it's important for you to believe that it will work. It's important to believe in the process. As I discussed, it's really about how our brain functions. Again, if you assess that your relationship was strong, that you didn't make any harm throughout the relationship, the score on the quiz is high, your ex will mechanically miss you at some point. So it's really about the relationship and what you do after. And if you have a strong relationship and what you've done after, you took the right actions, mechanically, always your ex will miss you. Okay? It's not would probably, it's always. Always. It's like a pendulum. There's always a moment where they feel like, oh, okay? And it's at that time that you can break no contact. It's at that time that you can re-engage. Sometimes you need to nudge a little bit your ex. So it's fine to break no contact. Sometimes your ex will actually contact you because when they are at this point of, I really miss him, miss her, and I want to know if we can reconnect, if we can do something, they will break no contact. Sometimes the ego is preventing them from contacting you. But don't make the mistakes to break no contact too soon because you want to know, because you want answers, right? It's frustrating. Trust the process. It works like this for everyone. Again, depending on your relationship, but I can assume that your relationship was strong. And if you're watching my videos, you're taking the right actions, but always, your ex will at some stage miss you. Any question, any comment, anything, don't hesitate to comment. Also, you can like the video. It does help me a lot, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.